Hi, I'm Gina Bianchini, and this is People Magic, where I am going to show you the easiest path to a $1 million paid membership. How am I going to do it? By answering your questions. Community in and of itself has just become this catch-all phrase that doesn't necessarily mean what a lot of people think it means, which for a lot of people, it's the audience. It's I talk out at you, you talk back at me, and no one's talking to each other. If you go back to first principles, you go back to like, okay, what is it that creates value in this world? Content's like third or fourth down the list. We as human beings are not meant to just consume content all day long. We've got content that is for entertainment. We've got content we're supposed to consume for education. We've got content that we are supposed to consume for professional purposes, personal wellness, all this stuff. It's like, that's not why we are here. We are here because we learn from other people in relationship. And the real value is number one, in helping people create results and transformation in their lives that they can't get on their own. Number two, it's about creating the conditions by which they can achieve those results and transformation in their lives, results and transformation they can't get on their own, from relationships that lift us up, that challenge us. People love people. People learn from other people. Now, somebody who is skeptical of what I'm saying is basically, well, isn't that my content? Isn't that why I'm here? And isn't that what my audience is learning? But actually, it's from conversation, not lectures, that we learn the most. A lecture doesn't change people's lives. Your short video doesn't change people's lives. Relationships change people's lives. Relationships, especially relationships with more than one person, relationships that are about surrounding ourselves with people who challenge us, people who point the way to better practices, more interesting habits, things that we can actually start to practice. The reason I am so motivated to talk to more and more people, even using things that I'm not the biggest fan of, like producing a bunch of content, my motivation for producing content, such as this podcast, such as our masterclass, such as essays I write or things I post, is because I want more and more people to see the opportunity that is created by not just being a member of incredible communities, but to host these incredible communities. I'm creating content so that more and more people don't start here. Everybody is trying to do that. One of the other problems of content is in business overall, you want to be doing something different in order to stand out. If you are building content and you think that you are going to charge for your content, and this is, the foundation of what the whole online course industry is based on. Well, the reality is that you're competing with so many other people for someone's time. The way to stand out in 2024 and beyond is to offer something different than content alone. This is probably the most important point that you could take away from these few minutes together, is create something different than content alone. Now, what do people value? They value progress. They value results. They value experiences. They value novelty. They value meeting new and interesting people that give them energy and inspire them and show them really specific things that they can take into their lives. But most importantly, that they are important, they are liked, they are loved. And so when we think about what is the foundation for a phenomenal business today, whether it's a digital business, in-person business, whether it's an e-commerce business, whether it's a digital products business, the hill I will die on is that bringing people together to offer them belonging, to offer them new insights from a lot of different people, not just you, is the single most important thing to invest in today and going forward. Why aren't more people doing this? Well, it is a phenomenal question that I ask myself regularly. The reason more people aren't doing this is because the technology that makes it easy to create connections between people hasn't really existed. Social media was the place to be able to go and build massive audiences. And the promise of what happens to you in your life when you have a massive audience, that has been incredibly enticing, especially as more and more of us are spending more and more of our time consuming people's content, being the fan of multiple creators. I think the number one thing that somebody under the age of 16 wants to be today, in the United States at least, is a creator because they seem to have a killer lifestyle. They meet cool and interesting people. They are doing something with confidence and swagger that just feels right. They look good. They sound good. They seem to feel good. This is all against a backdrop of declining mental health, declining happiness, a declining sense of connection to institutions and other people, especially in the places where we live, a declining sense that our lives matter if we're not famous, if we're not a creator that has 1 million followers, or even if we are a creator with 1 million followers. And so something's not right. What I know to be true is if you look at the market capitalization, you look at what Meta is worth, you look at what YouTube or Google is worth, you look at what TikTok is worth, they are all worth so much more than anything being created by individual entrepreneurs or individual creators. And look, the fame is beautiful. It feels incredible to get messages from people that say what you shared has had a meaningful impact on my life. I get that. Now imagine being able to take that into a world that you create, that you control and can influence, that can have an impact that you just can't get through social media alone. That is the world of community. And as community shows up as paid memberships, as online courses, as challenges, and as events, you are fundamentally creating value by bringing people together. And that means something. So, in this podcast, what I want to do is just talk about all of the bad advice that is out there in the world about creating digital businesses that assume content is king, because there is a role for content, but it is so much smaller than what you might think it is or that it should be. And especially as today the technology is getting better and better. I know this because this is what my team and I build. We build software. We call it People Magic, that is designed to make the most relevant connections between the people that you bring into a paid membership, an online course, a challenge, an event, so that they're able to get to those most valuable relationships so much faster and with so much more ease. Because that's actually been the thing that has stopped this world of creating people magic and people magic being so much more valuable than anything you can do with content. Now, we're all kind of getting less good at people stuff. And now our opportunity is to lean on software more heavily to create the kinds of experiences that allow us to meet people that are going to have a real impact on our lives, both as members and as hosts of these incredible communities. I want to tackle your questions that are the most skeptical, that are the most conventional, that are the most, Gina, I just don't believe you. I welcome those because creating people magic today, right now, has transformed the digital businesses, not just of those struggling with a failing online course, but with some of the biggest creators and brands in the world. And you're going to show up and say how you are different and why this won't work for you and how this is so much harder than I am suggesting it is. And the truth of the matter is, it's not. It's not because I'm sitting here and I'm some genius. It's just because I understand software and what is possible with it and how to bring the dynamics that built Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube to you as a creator when creating your own world where people are going to come together and then they're going to get incredible results that they're going to turn around and they're going to talk about. It is nearly guaranteed when you just follow some simple steps that when I show them to you over the course of this podcast and our free masterclass that I created called People Magic Profit, you're going to look at them and you're going to be like, is it really that easy? And the answer is yes, it is really that easy. My goal is for you to look back after you've set this up, you've invited your first members in, and you start to have that sense of impact, that sense of purpose, that increasing dollar value in your bank account. And you're going to ask yourself the question, what took me so long? Thanks for listening to People Magic. Want more of a deep dive on today's topic? Well, check out People Magic Profit, my 9-part free masterclass on how to launch your own wildly profitable paid membership and community. Do you have your own burning questions you'd like me to discuss on this podcast? Well, I want to hear them. So leave your questions in the review section and keep tuning in.